The first time I brought Jamie home, I was 9 years old. We were inseparable third graders who bonded over matching lunch boxes and a shared hatred for the boys' kickball team. She slept over so often my mum bought her a toothbrush just for our house. We made friendship bracelets, whispering our deepest secrets and promising we'd be friends forever. Forever, it turns out, was 23 years. Right up until she decided she wanted my father instead. My mom died when I was 25. The cancer was fast and brutal. In just 4 months, she went from diagnosis to funeral. My father, Greg, was completely shattered. They'd been high school sweethearts, married for 30 years, the kind of couple you see still holding hands at the grocery store. After she was gone, he was just a ghost, going through the motions of life. The light behind his eyes had vanished. I worried about him constantly. I called every day, visited every weekend, doing everything I could to keep him anchored to the world of the living. Jamie came to the funeral, of course she did. She sat right there in the second row, holding my hand through the entire service. She even stayed after to help clean up. She was my rock, just like she'd always been. "I'm here for you," she promised, squeezing my hand. "Whatever you need." I just cried into her shoulder, so grateful for a friend who had known me my entire life. After the funeral, Jamie started coming around a lot more. Not to see me, though to see my dad. Just checking in, she'd say, showing up with a casserole or some magazines. I know how hard this must be for him. I thought it was sweet, so thoughtful. I was so wrapped up in my own grief, I didn't see how often she was there, or how long she stayed. I didn't notice how my father started laughing again whenever she was around. 6 months after Mom died, Jamie invited me to dinner. Just the two of us, she said, like old times. We went to our favorite Mexican restaurant, ordered margaritas, and talked about all the usual things: work, dating. But something felt off. She was nervous, fidgeting with her napkin and avoiding my gaze. Finally, she took a deep breath. "I have something to tell you," she said. "And I need you to not freak out." I just laughed. "Jamie, we've been friends for 23 years. What could you possibly say that would make me freak out?" And then she told me. She'd been seeing someone for a few months. It was serious. She was happy, really, really happy. I was so thrilled for her until she told me who it was. "Your dad," she said. "It's your dad. We're together. And we're in love." The world just stopped. All the noise in the restaurant faded into static. I stared at her, this woman I'd known since I was 9, and I couldn't even process the words. My dad ... her ... together. In love how long? My voice sounded like a stranger's. "A few months," she said. "After the funeral, we just disconnected. He was so sad, and I was there, and one thing led to another. I know it's weird. I know it's fast. But we're happy, Claire. I hope you can be happy for us, happy." She wanted me to be happy that my childhood best friend was dating my grieving father, just 6 months after my mother was buried. I didn't scream. I didn't even cry. I just stood up, threw some money on the table, and walked out. She called my name, but I didn't look back. I drove straight to my father's house and let myself in with my key. He was in the kitchen, making dinner for 2. He smiled when he saw me, but the smile died when he saw my face. "Claire." Jamie called. She said, "Are you kidding me?" My voice was shaking. 6 months, Dad. Mom has been dead for 6 months. And you're dating my best friend? The girl who used to sleep over at our house. Who Mom made pancakes for. He actually had the decency to look ashamed. I know it's fast. I know it's complicated. But I'm lonely, Claire. I miss your mother every single day. Jamie makes me feel alive again. Is that so wrong? Yes. It was so wrong. It was wrong in a way that went beyond logic, something primal. My mother's best friend? No, my mother was dead. But my best friend? That felt like a completely different, sharper kind of betrayal. I stopped talking to both of them. I blocked Jamie's number, unfriended her on every platform, and told our mutual friends I didn't want to hear her name. My father called constantly, leaving voicemails I deleted without even listening. I spent that Christmas alone in my tiny apartment, just staring at the wall, wondering how my life had turned into some kind of bad movie. 6 more months passed. I started to heal, slowly and painfully. I went to therapy. I made new friends. I forced myself to stop checking Jamie's social media, to stop wondering what she was doing with my father, to stop torturing myself. I wasn't okay, but I was getting there. Then my father called. I almost didn't answer, but there was an urgency in his voice I hadn't heard before, and it made me pick up. Double quotes Claire. Please. I need to see you. It's important. I agreed to meet him at a coffee shop neutral ground, no Jamie. He looked older, more tired than I remembered. The light that had flickered back in his eyes was dim again. What's wrong? I asked, skipping the pleasantries. He took a deep breath. Jamie and we're having a baby. The words just hung there in the air. I stared at him, waiting for the punchline, but it never came. She's pregnant, he said. Due in 5 months. I know this is a lot. I know you're not ready. But I wanted you to hear it from me, a baby. My childhood best friend, carrying my father's child. The person who held my hand at my mother's funeral was now growing a sibling for me. A sibling I'd be expected to love and welcome into our family. I didn't say anything. I just stood up and walked out. Again. The next few months were a blur of rage and grief. I was in therapy twice a week. I joined a support group for people with complicated families. I learned that my feelings were valid. That I didn't have to accept this, that I could set boundaries. I decided I wouldn't meet the baby. I wouldn't be part of their new family. I had to protect my own peace, even if it meant losing my father for good. Then, 3 weeks before the due date, Jamie called me. I almost hung up, but something made me stay on the line. Her voice was different, softer, more vulnerable than I'd ever heard it. Claire. Please don't hang up. I need to tell you something. I waited. I found something, she said. In my bathroom. A test. I took it because I've been feeling sick, but not the kind of sick you think. She paused and took a shaky breath. It's not my pregnancy test. It's my daughter's. My 15-year-old daughter, Maya. The one I had when I was 19. The one your father doesn't know about because I never told him. The world just tilted on its axis. Maya. Jamie had a daughter. In 23 years of friendship, she had never once mentioned a child. I gave her up for adoption when I was a teenager, she explained. Her adoptive parents just moved back to town. She found me on social media. She's been coming over when your father's at work. We've been getting to know each other. And last week, she got sick. I found the test in the trash. It's positive. I had to sit down. My legs suddenly felt weak. Jamie. What are you telling me? I'm telling you that I'm not pregnant, she said. Your father thinks I am, but I'm not. It's Maya. And I don't know how to tell him. I don't know how to tell anyone. But I had to tell you. Because you deserve to know the truth. The truth. The truth was that my father had been lied to. The baby he was preparing for wasn't his. The woman he'd chosen over his own daughter had been hiding a secret daughter of her own this whole time. I didn't know what to feel. Relief that there wouldn't be a baby? Anger that Jamie had lied to him? Pity for my father, who was so desperate for love that he'd missed every single red flag. I went to see him that night. I didn't tell him about Maya. That wasn't my story to tell. But I told him I was wrong to cut him off. That I missed him. That I wanted to try, slowly, to rebuild, he cried. We both did. It wasn't forgiveness, not yet. But it was a start. Jamie told him about Maya a week later. He took it better than I expected, better than she deserved, honestly. He said he understood that everyone has secrets, that they'd figure it out together. I wanted to shake him, to ask how he could be so blind. But I held my tongue. It wasn't my choice to make. Maya had the baby, a little girl, born 2 months early, tiny and perfect. Jamie and my father are helping raise her. They've turned the guest room into a nursery. They send me photos sometimes. I look at them, at this strange little family assembled from lies and secrets and grief, and I just don't know what to feel. I visit occasionally, mostly on holidays. I hold the baby, my non-sibling, my not niece, this innocent child caught in the middle of everyone's mess. She has Jamie's eyes and Maya's smile and none of my DNA. I love her anyway. I can't help it. Jamie and I have talked a few times. Not about the past, that wound is still too deep to touch. But about the present, the future, the practicalities of coexisting. She's apologized more than once. I've accepted, sort of. We'll never be friends again. That girl who slept over at my house, who made friendship bracelets with me, who promised forever, she's gone. In her place is a stranger who shares my history, but not my trust. My father and I are closer now. Not the same, it will never be the same. But we have dinner once a week. He tells me about his life, about Maya and the baby, about how strange and beautiful it is to have a second chance at family. I listen, I nod. And I try not to think about my mother. Sometimes late at night, I wonder what she'd think of all this. Her husband with her daughter's best friend. A secret granddaughter. A baby that isn't his but he's raising anyway. I think she'd be sad. I think she'd be angry. But I also think she'd understand, maybe, that grief makes people do strange things. That love, even misplaced love, is still a kind of survival. The pregnancy test in Jamie's bathroom changed everything. It revealed a truth none of us saw coming. And it forced me to confront that life doesn't stop when you're not ready. That families are messy and broken, cobbled together from whatever pieces you can find. And that sometimes the people who hurt you the most are also the people you can't stop loving. I don't have a neat ending. I don't have revenge or justice. I have a father who made choices I don't agree with, a former friend who broke my heart, a baby who didn't ask for any of this, and me, still here, still trying to figure out how to hold it all. That friendship bracelet is in a drawer somewhere. I haven't looked at it in years. But I can't throw it away. It's a reminder of who we were, of the girl I thought I knew, and of a promise that turned out to be made of nothing but thread. Forever, it turns out, is a lot shorter than you think.